For the first time since the 5th game of the season, we're back here at Whitehouse Field to take on the Harwich Mariners. I'm Allie Navarrete alongside Cam Manna and Matt Scalzo as always. Cam, like I said, it has been since the 5th game that we've been at Whitehouse Field. Talk about how much has changed for these Bravos since then.
So much has happened since then. The Braves were looking for their first win of the season. Matt and I actually looked at the lineup. Andrew Patrick was batting first. Paul Tomahawk was batting second. That game only went 4 innings, and Logan Evans was on the mound. So much has changed from then and now, how Bourne's shifted kind of their momentum as one of the better teams, and at that point, they're trying to find their footing. Harwich, the same exact thing. The weather also then was not as warm and sunny as it is today, so a lot's changed since that game.
So we haven't been to Whitehouse Field in a while, but the Mariners did take a trip to Dorn Park a couple weeks back. Bravos got the best of them. Matt, talk about what went down in that one.
Yeah, it was a 5-2 win for the Bravos, and it was nearly a shutout. Gave up a 2-run home run in the 9th inning, but overall it was a very complete game that we saw from the offense. Got going early, jumped ahead with a lead, and had phenomenal pitching throughout the entire game. An outstanding start from Ryan Fisher. That's what propelled them really to that win.
Speaking of Ryan Fisher, he'll be back on the mound today for the Braves. And Cam, he started at Harwich, had a great start, also had a good start at Hyannis a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, his last 2 starts has gone 11 innings. He had the strikeout numbers versus Harwich, but showed against Hyannis that he pitched for more contact, and he's been very good on the mound. Has pounded the strike zone, has given Bourne that confidence on the bump to go the distance, and when they go to their bullpen, they have lesser options to use, which is a good thing for Scott Landers, because when Fisher can go that long, you maybe only have to use 1 or 2 guys out of the bullpen, and gives that offense that momentum to take that lead early, understanding what Fisher can do with his stamina on the bump.
On the road today after a doubleheader last night at Dorn Park, where the Bravos won Game 1 against the Gatemen, fell in Game 2. Matt, what were some of those positives from the win and negatives from the loss?
Yeah, positives was just Game 1 entirely. You got great hitting, great pitching throughout it. Game 2 is just a negative as a whole. It was flipped. The script was completely flipped. A 7-1 win to a 7-0 loss. There's a lot of changes you'd like to see made, not a whole lot, but mainly just finding that same consistency from Game 1. And that you didn't get in Game 2. So, some slight lineup changes tonight. JKG's batting first, Bryce Eblin's in the cleanup hole. So some slight changes to maybe find more consistent hitting throughout the lineup and not just stockpile all towards one spot. So we'll see here if Bourne's able to find that consistency and find that momentum throughout the entire lineup and back here at Whitehouse Field, and maybe get the offense jump-started a bit more than the last time they were here.
The Braves looking for their first win of the season at Whitehouse Field. First pitch at 6:30. Here pregame at Whitehouse Field before the Bravos take on Harwich. I'm here with Jonathan Vastine of Vanderbilt. Jonathan, a doubleheader yesterday. How are you guys feeling after a lot of baseball at Dorn Park?
We feel good. It's a fresh start, new day. We split the doubleheader yesterday, which obviously we wish we would have taken both. But, we showed up here. We had a fun, loose pregame over at Duran, and now we're here. We had a good BP, and I think we're just ready to get back after it.
You mentioned you split the games. Game 1 was great. Game 2 didn't go your guys' way. I saw you guys had a pretty long meeting after the game on the field with Coach Landers. What was he telling you guys in that moment?
He was just saying that it's time. It's time to turn it up. It's time to get going. Playoff baseball is here soon. We only have, 8 or so games left with each other. And, I don't know about everybody else, but I love this team and I love everything about it. And I want to, this team deserves to win the whole thing. So, just turn it up now and don't look back.
I know you're a guy who really prides himself on hard work. You talk about how you guys get to the field early. Why is that so important to you, and why are you working so hard for these Bravos right now?
Mentally, it's so much easier to go into a game knowing that you prepared as much as you possibly can early before the game, so that when you get into the game, you just compete. And everyone has took place in doing that at the field early, doing it in the cages, so that way when they get in the game, we just compete. And, sometimes it doesn't go our way, but, when it does go our way, it's rewarding because you worked your tail off to get those results.
You had a really great play last night at shortstop, a connection with Garrett there, got the guy out at first. What have you been working on defensively since you've been here this summer?
Just being smooth and working on the internal clock. That's a big thing over at shortstop, is knowing how fast the runner is, how much time you have, how much time you don't have, and just staying smooth and knowing that clock is the most important thing as an infielder.
Back at Whitehouse Field today, you were here on Saturday. I know some of your family was here last week watching your games, also got to see you in the All-Star game. How much did that mean to you?
It was amazing for them to be there and watch a bunch of All-Stars who were the top talent in the entire Cape. And for most of my teammates, for 5 or so of my teammates to be there with me was absolutely amazing. And it was just an honor to be a part of all those guys, and to see, Derek Bender win the MVP it was electric, and he deserves it all. So.
An opportunity to take on the Mariners, get back in the win column. What do you think goes into that here today?
We just got to stay patient, stay in the zone, let the pitcher make mistakes, and we just execute, play team offense, play team defense, and execute for our pitcher when he makes good pitches, and I think we should come on top.
Awesome. Thank you.